Hey guys, it's Captain Harris. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to a new video series from us, where we talk about the best certain colored album, and today, that's red. We're talking about the best red albums today.
That's a good color. One of the primaries.
Roy G. Biv. That's the Roy. That's the Roy right there.
Every album, or not every album, every band should have a red album, in my opinion. Ooh. And these are some of the best red albums we could find, and they're not all metal.
No.
This is any genre you could think of.
Any genre.
It just gives us a chance to speak about really any random album that is red that we happen to love.
That is good, because if there's bad red album, we're not talking about it. No. I mean, you might think it's bad, but...
Speaking of my first, maybe bad album, Dance of Death.
Bad?
Well, you know, a lot of people say this isn't as good as the album before and after it. Mm-hmm. But
I mean, they would be correct, but it doesn't make it bad.
It's not bad. It's great. It's fantastic. And this was my first introduction to Iron Maiden. A lot of people would look at it and say, well, that's not red. Well, if you take out the CGI creatures, it is very red.
Take out the nonsense.
Yeah, you take out the nonsense. And, you know, the floor is red, even on the tour. So there you go. It's a red album. Now, Dance of Death, very special album to me. First album I got of Iron Maiden. And the best songs on it, I think everybody would agree, is probably Passchendaele and Dance of Death, No More Lies, Rainmaker.
Monsegur, except Derek would heavily disagree with that.
I would also join Derek in that as well.
You don't like Monsegur?
No.
No.
I like Monsegur. It's a very...
more blood on your Citadel.
It's a heavy album until you get to the last like 2 or 3 songs, and then it's not that heavy anymore. But it's very cool. It's
Journeyman.
It's kind of ruined by its artwork, unfortunately.
Yeah. I saw the concept with like the hooded figures. That's so much better.
Yeah.
If they just kept it with that without the CGI and naked people, I think it would be a lot better.
The baby standing in
the baby surfing the dog. Yeah. But I mean, it's a cool era. It feels like, you know, they're trying to build on Brave New World by expanding their sound. And it's that album, I think even Bruce said this, Dance of Death is that album that was almost as good as Brave New World. Mm-hmm. But it's still absolutely worth talking about. Death on the Road, too. Yeah. It's an awesome live release from that era where they played, like, Lord of the Flies and some random stuff. So, yeah, Dance of Death, red album, good.
So, the first album I will be talking about today is Amon Amarth's Surtur Rising.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah, you know that's good. So...
oh, you know that's good, laddie.
I mean, it just hits hard from start to finish. My 3 favorite songs on it would have to be Slaves of Fear, For Victory or Death, and Doom Over Dead Man. I know that you love Slaves of Fear.
Slaves of Fear is so good.
Yeah, so this is one of the first Amon Amarth albums that I got. I feel like most Amon Amarth albums end with an epic song, sort of similar to how Maiden does. They're not as long as Maiden's songs, but Doom Over Dead Man is that song for this album. That's why it's one of my favorites on there. But I don't know, it's one of those cover-to-cover albums for me where I kind of play it all the way through, and, you know...
The artwork on it, I think that's their best album cover.
Yeah, he was trying to argue with me that it was more of a yellow album, but I don't know. I think there's more red on there than anything, so back's pretty red.
I see orange.
I saw this album twice live. I saw it in Fort Lauderdale and in Orlando. I did both of the Florida shows, and because they were on this tour, they were playing the entire album, and it was incredible.
Well, 2011 this came out?
Yep.
Nice.
I actually missed an orientation for a job, so I could go to the show.
I don't blame you. Did you still get the job?
No. And that's why you'll never... I missed an orientation at Disney to be at this, so I could have been working in Fantasyland.
Could have been a cast member.
I could have been a cast member, and I said, no, I want to go see Amon Amarth twice.
Worth it.
Worth it. All right. So I have mine split. First 5-ish, or... So I have mine split. The first couple are going to be more of the history of Logan through Red, and then it's going to be more of the Logan's taste through Red. So my first album is a death metal record, one of my first death metal records, called Annihilation of the Wicked by Nile. I first heard this band right around the time of this album's released, right before they put out an album called Ithyphallic. Mm-hmm. So Nile is a death metal band that was basically everything was Egyptian themed. It's in the name, Nile. This album is very red, as you can now see. Lashed to a slave stick is just pummeling. That's where they have a drummer named George Callias. I used to watch his drum clinic videos online. But Nile, Annihilation of the Wicked. If you're looking for just some old-fashioned, good, family-friendly Egyptian heavy metal that's also death metal, yes.
Back to me. We have to talk about Dio's The Last in Line. This was his second solo album after Holy Diver, and Holy Diver, what an amazing album. That's somewhat red as well.
Bit red, but only in the name.
But The Last in Line...
This is The Last in Line.
That is The Last in Line.
I'll say with the name
Sure.
Dio, like, on the album of Holy... Yeah, whatever.
I feel like The Last in Line is every bit as good as Holy Diver. And, I mean, it starts with, of course, We Rock, which is one of his, coolest intro songs. You got The Last in Line, I Speed at Night, Evil Eyes... The One Night in the City. I mean, Egypt for Nile fans.
So many segues.
But I mean, it's such great album artwork, and a start of what I think was the three, like his three first albums were just so good as the Dio band.
They're the ones everybody thinks of.
Yeah. So Last in Line, fantastic album.
All right, so the next album I have is a little bit of a different flavor. It is Meatloaf's Bad Out of Hell. So I discovered this album in artwork only growing up, because we had one of those big entertainment consoles. You put your TV in there, your VHS DVD player, you had all your slide out drawers for your DVDs and CDs, and I would just go through and look at the artwork and booklets and DVDs and stuff like that. And the three albums whose artwork caught my eye before anything was Billy Joel's River of Dreams, Pink Floyd's The Division Bell, and Bad Out of Hell. And I saw these album covers long before many years before I heard the albums. And, I mean, you just gotta love it. Like, are you familiar with this album?
I'm familiar with the name alone.
So you haven't heard...
What are some of the songs on this album?
Bad Out of Hell.
Don't know that one.
Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
No.
We were barely 17 and we were barely dressed.
No.
I think you'd really like this. Just
Meatloaf.
knowing your musical taste, I think you would really like this album. But
What's his big hit? What's Meatloaf's big song?
Out of Hell.
I mean, that's not really a hit. I think Paradise by the Dashboard Light is more popular. Like, people would do that song for karaoke and stuff at parties, because there's the men's part sing, and then there's the women's part, so they would like duet and stuff. But I had hilariously assumed that, based off of the artwork on this was going to be some kind of hard rock heavy metal album, and I was...
Is it not?
Well, I mean, it's like a rock opera.
Ooh, interesting. Meatloaf. What is that man doing? Is that a man or a woman?
What, on the bike?
Yeah.
That's a man. But I wrongly assumed the genre, and instead we got the magic multi-genre rock opera soup that is Meatloaf.
For crying out loud.
Is 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad on there?
I think so.
Yeah, 2 8 3 right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh, they had Roger Powell on synthesizers. That's awesome.
So this album was sung by Meatloaf, but written by Jim Steinman. So it's just a really, really good rock opera that I've known for most of my life.
Red.
And I think that you should give it a listen, because I really think you'd like it.
Well, continuing down Logan's history of Red, we go to a 2003 record, the last in what you would consider maybe an era for this band. It is Children of Bodom, Hate Crew, Death Roll. This is, having come out of 3 really just absolute smash records, this album is quintessential. It is a all-timer for metal. It is huge, but with it is a change of sound, a more, you could almost say a simplification. It's not as neoclassical as some of the other stuff. Needle 24/7, Angels Don't Kill, 6-pounder, so good. But I really want to give a shout out to Bodom Beach Terror for the drums and everything that was within that. Hate Crew Death Roll was one of those albums. It's one of the classic when an album goes from song to song and it just sort of like kicks in. I remember I was on a field trip once, and I had my little cassette, and I only brought like a few albums, and one of them was that, and I was on a bus, and there's an ending of Needle 24/7 is Death, what y'all know about Death, and then immediately kicks into Six Pounder, which is this like huge, almost like shotgun sounding riff. We were on a bus, and we had to do a brake check because the driver was maybe, and so I just remember that riff kicking in as the bus just lurched, like, oh! And so forever, that's just how that riff makes me feel. So, Hate Crew Death Roll, the 2003 masterpiece by Children of Bodom.
Awesome. So my next one is Blood of the Nations by Accept. This was their kind of comeback album. I think it came out in 2010. And I first heard about this album on That Metal Show on VH1, for all you guys that remember.
Wow, VH1 like classic? Like that old VH1?
That whole thing.
Eddie Trunk?
Eddie Trunk and John Jingleheimer.
What was his name? John. There was John and like the other guy. He was like a dumb boy. Like, man. Anyway, continue.
Jim. I don't know.
Jim!
Was it Jim?
I feel like Jim sounds right.
Do I need to look it up?
No.
If you were on That Metal Show, leave us a comment.
But they were going through, like, I don't know, new albums to talk about, and they brought up this album, which was Accept's, like, comeback album, where, you know, their original singer wasn't there anymore, and they had a new guy called Mark Tonillo. I believe this was his first album with the band. And, of course, Wolf Hoffman is the guy that, you know, writes basically everything. He's a guitar player. And they put out this album, and I went to check it out because of how much they were talking it up, and it really did come through as an extremely strong album. I mean, it's German metal, like, you know what you're gonna get. But every song on this album is so good. You get Beat the Bastards Down into Teutonic Terror. Everybody knows Teutonic Terror at this point, even Logan.
You got the Teutonic Terror.
It's the one that's like, we will give him the axe. That one. Yep, you love it.
Teutonic Terror.
Blood of the Nations.
What?
Is that? Who's that?
This?
Yeah.
This is Peter Bolter, the bass player.
What's an S?
This is Peter Boltus.
That guy looks super familiar for some reason. I don't know what. He almost looks like Billy Blitz from Overkill.
That's what it
That's
is.
his alter ego.
Whoa. When did this album come out?
2010, I think.
2010? Yeah.
I mean,
Peak That Metal Show.
This
yeah.
is the tour I saw Sabaton.
Pandemic, amazing. They still play this song to this day.
How did they know?
They just knew. New World Coming, Rolling Thunder. It's like AC/DC meets, I don't know, Metallica.
Well, except like just a classic 80s metal band anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds amazing, and it was the right album for the right time for me to like. It was kind of a crossover into, again, like, it's kind of heavy, but also is very classic at the same time. So yeah, Blood of the Nations, check it out if you haven't.
Just no frills, just metal.
Yes.
All right, so unfortunately, I don't have a physical to show, so we're just gonna pop it up right here, and it's "The Devil You Know" by Heaven and Hell, which was basically the final Black Sabbath album because it was Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Dio, and Vinny Appice.
I almost
There.
put that on my list.
Really,
So-
it's so good.
Is that the one with Bible Black?
Yes,
Oh my
that's
God.
my favorite song off that album. And Dio died not like a year after this.
Well,
came
that
out.
couldn't have been their last album. Their Black Sabbath's last album was.
You know what I mean?
You mean Heaven and Hell?
Heaven and Hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference. There's
13,
Ozzy Sabbath,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's Heaven and Hell with Dio.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is Heaven. It's by Heaven and Hell, but it's basically like
It's Black Sabbath.
It's another basically a Black Sabbath album because it has all the members, and that's the lineup that also did Mob Rules and Dehumanizer. So, and like it's just almost such a sad album because like during this tour, I believe it was in the movie. I don't know if you've seen the recent, like in the last few years, Dio movie that
No,
came
I
out.
haven't.
But they
You
were
like it a lot.
They were saying that he was like getting pains and stuff while he was on stage performing and stuff before he had like officially got diagnosed. And so he was performing through like suffering cancer and I don't know, just the fact that this was the last music that the world got from him and it was that good of an album, it's very special. And my favorite 3 songs on there are, as I said, Bible Black, Fear, and Neverwhere, I believe was the name of it.
Never will.
Got any other favorites on there?
No, I was actually gonna piggyback off what you were saying there about like being like the last album. What I've appreciated most, like in my recent time, like now that we have Spotify and everything's easily accessible, finding bands that have a long history and listening to their later records. Like, what are they even saying? Like, what do they want to even put out there as art anymore? And if this was, and what turned out to be Dio's final thing, guy went out like literally on a mountaintop.
Yeah.
Like a man on a silver mountain.
So yeah, we love you, Dio. I'm glad we got that final album involving him onto James.
Well, that's actually to me.
On to Logan.
Cut me after this video, will you? Well, 2002, the band Arch Enemy has lost their original member, or original singer rather, and they now have a German woman by the name of Angela, and they put out Wages of Sin. This album, again, if you're into this, you're trying to get into melodic metal, this is the prototype almost of, you got to have At the Gate, Slaughter the Soul, you have to have Wages of Sin, Arch Enemy. You can put In Flames in there too if you really like to. But Arch Enemy itself, like the Wages of Sin record, Ravenous, Dead Bury the Dead, like that album, even though it might not be my favorite of all of Arch Enemies, it just speaks exactly to a certain feeling and vibe, and also in the broader scope, I would show people Arch Enemy, especially Wages of Sin, like, wow, that's really good. I'm like, yeah, it's a lady singer, and it's you're floored because her voice isn't shrill, it's not high, like it's truly, it has like a guttural sense to it, and it's like it was a true like showcase of like, no, yeah, women do have a space in this genre. That's how Alex Trebek used to say it on Jeopardy. Genre. This genre of metal. Arch Enemy, Wages of Sin.
I thought you were about to like do the clapper thing. Like,
no, you're going to put it right there.
Okay.
With the big budget.
Don Jameson.
Wow, deep pool. It was Don Jameson.
Eddie Trunk, Don Jameson, and Jim something?
Jim Cantori.
No.
Jim Kanaraki.
No.
I'm gonna look this up so you guys can.
Steph, please.
It's better if we just try and find it on our own.
It'll come to me.
Don't hunt for it.
Speaking of hunt, Mastodon's The Hunter, 2011. After Crack the Sky, which is their best album in my opinion.
Yes.
They have a little bit of fun with
a little bit of fun.
Yeah. There's a lot of songs on this album. They're a lot shorter than the ones on Crack the Sky. They have funny names.
Blastroid.
And, Blastroid.
Octopus Has No Friends.
Yep, Spectre Light, Bedazzled Fingernails. Bedazzled Fingernails. Octopus Has No Friends.
Yes.
And this was when, on Crack the Sky, they realized that Braun could sing, their drummer. And so they brought him in sparingly on that album. He sings quite a bit after that album, and specifically on this one. And it has more of kind of like a classic rock feel to it. It's kind of a classic rock meets prog metal album. Mm-hmm. It's not that heavy. There's not like a lot of heavy riffs or anything on it, but it's a whole lot of fun. You can tell they're having fun together as a band. Everything Brent does is fantastic, and the drumming's amazing on it. And there's really no skips on it for me, and it ends on kind of a somber note with the Sparrow, which is just a really cool like deep song at the end. And I've always really liked this album, even though it kind of gets forgotten about, I feel like, when it comes to Mastodon.
I was supposed to see them. I think they played at the House of Blues on that tour, and I accidentally double booked myself. So instead, I went down to Miami to see Judas Priest on their Epitaph tour, which was the farewell tour, but it was the first of 6 farewell tours for Judas Priest.
What year was that?
This would have been 2011, yeah.
Okay,
so that was it was Thin Lizzy, well, whatever remains of Thin Lizzy, Black Label Society, and Judas Priest. But I probably should have just gone to see Mastodon because I could have seen Judas
15 years later, Judas Priest is still touring.
And with albums. Some Epitaph. Yes. Mastodon.
Oh, wait. That's last. Alright, another one I don't have a physical of, unfortunately, is Bruce Dickinson's 1997 release of Accident of Birth.
Oh, so good.
This is arguably his best solo work. I think that most people usually pick Accident of Birth as their favorite.
Or Chemical Wedding.
I am usually tied up with Chemical Wedding. I find that I like more songs on Chemical Wedding than I do on this, but the ones that are on this are so good.
But that album's not Red.
Yeah, I'm just saying, in my personal taste in Bruce Dickinson albums, I'm saying most people I do see pick Accident of Birth, and it is great.
I am seeing.
And as I was saying, it has songs such as the title track, Accident of Birth, which is fantastic, Dark Side of Aquarius, Road to Hell,
Star Children,
Freak. It's great. I love the album artwork, too. I believe it was done by Derek Riggs. Probably why I like it so much.
What was the little character's name? Fred?
Edison.
Because
he's got the light bulbs in his hat. So I love anything Derek Riggs, so the fact that he worked on that, awesome. And I feel like this album really showcased what was so special about Adrian's playing, and really what Maiden lost after he left the band.
Well, it was very different, because it was heavier, it was tuned down. Roy Z, you can't forget to mention how much he played a factor into these albums. With Bruce, and they were tuned to drop D, which is super different for both of them. And this was kind of Bruce's return to heavy metal after experimenting with the last few albums solo. And what Adrian brings, what Bruce brings, I mean, it's just so good.
I can imagine how happy I know that Bruce's solo works weren't super popular at the time, they weren't very well followed, but the Maiden fans who did follow them, I'm sure were very happy to hear Adrian utilized in such a way on this album.
Yep.
So that's all I got on Accident of Birth. What do you have? Share with the class.
Oh my goodness. So, there was a time when certain bands were not allowed to play at the House of Blues here in Orlando because it's on Disney property. Somehow, this band was not banned, and this 2006 album was, I think, the actual true first death metal record I ever sought out. This band I knew of because they were in a film called Ace Ventura. This is Cannibal Corpse, 2005. The album's called Kill. Make it big so you understand what this album's called. It's called Kill. It features such hits as Time to Kill Is Now and Make Them Suffer. That show, that's 2006, so I am 14.
Disney World
on the barrier. A woman puked in my shoes.
In them?
Yes.
Or on them.
Wearing them.
She bent down and puked down the back of my leg and went into my shoe. And then a gentleman to my right was headbanging, and I looked over and he had broken his nose, and so he was just bleeding in his hair, so blood was just getting thrown around. It was a hazmat issue. But again, seeing a giant banner in downtown Disney that said "Kill," it just said a lot.
Yeah, that's very surprising knowing what they played there, because they've banned bands for much less.
I know, and it was a different time. It was 06. Iraq War.
20 years ago.
Afghanistan. But yes, seeing Cannibal Corpse live, I've seen them many times since then, but the album Kill is just some Neanderthal style death metal, just so check it out.
Yes.
For all you kids.
Kill 'em all. Metallica.
Speaking of
Kill 'em all.
Kill and Kill 'em all together. I mean, what can you say about this album? This is one of the most classic metal albums in the world. Of course, the classic picture on the back of the pimply teenagers right after they kicked Dave Mustaine out of the band and went and recorded 4 of his songs. But, I mean, credit to Lars and James as well, because, they did write a good handful of these songs as well. Hit the Lights is obviously a massive classic. Four Horsemen, formerly the Mechanics. And I just read I reread the Mustaine book, and he said that he was initially pissed that when they went and did, he was lucky to even get credit on these songs, but he was pissed that they put Hetfield and then Ulrich and then Mustaine at the end. So
he's like, that's my song.
Yeah, he's the third one on the credits, but they're all kind of the same vein. They're metal classics. They're simple songs. They're a young band finding themselves.
Yeah.
And it's incredible to see where they started, where they went. And even this album was with a very unknown producer in John Zazula, who honestly just did such a great job with this album and the release and how it sounds. I mean, it still sounds great to this day. You can tell that they're not that... they haven't grown into themselves yet. They still sound like kids in a garage band.
Yeah.
But they make it sound as big as they can and as good as they can. And, fantastic work. Even Kirk has a good time on this album, even though it's mostly copying what Mustaine did just before he got kicked out.
Did you ever look at the album cover? Like, you ever, like, and do this, like, with things, too? Like, look at the album, and, like, did you ever see a shape in the blood? Like, it's like a Rorschach test? Like, you, like...
No, I
To
don't.
me, it always looks like a woman with, like, a perm, like, pondering. Like,
I see Shamu.
Shamu waving.
Yeah, I see Shamu in there.
Well, now I've never actually looked at it from the side. I've never owned this record, actually. Look at that.
In fact, this album, this CD, I remember I was collecting Maiden albums still at the time, and I was in England, and I had bought the last Maiden CD that I needed for my collection, which was Virtual 11. Yeah, I put that off to the last one. Bought that. With Virtual 11, I bought this, and I started going down the thrash route. So it went straight from Virtual 11. And again, this seemed extra good because I listened to Virtual 11 first, and then I was like, okay, I'll put that to the side. And then I listened to Kill 'Em All.
What a nice pairing.
Wow. I remember learning every song on this album on guitar, and it was a very fun time in my life.
So
Virtual 11 and
you're telling me that Virtual 11 is not one of your Red albums?
No.
It sounds like lamb and fish.
So this is my last Red album, and we're going for a little bit of a different flavor. With Phil Collins, No Jacket Required. What is this, 85? Yeah.
Studio.
Yes, obviously, this is his best-selling album. I believe it was 25 million copies.
Yeah,
so,
great.
I mean, it starts with Susudio. You can't ask for much more than that. Do you have any other favorites on here? Because I know you said you wanted this album as well.
I was debating, and you guys can leave a comment below. I just love how he's, like, menacing. Just...
I know.
Also, you haven't seen it before. Like, I was just staring at his forehead the entire time we did this video. But Take Me Home
Yeah.
and Don't Lose My Number are my 1 and 2 on this album.
Yeah.
Love those songs.
I'd say Take Me Home's another favorite of mine, but obviously Susudio. And, like, this is, like, quintessential public shopping playlist. Do you notice how every time you go on
supermarket,
Publix,
department store,
but specifically, we have a grocery store in the south here called Publix, and every single time we go in, without fail, it's Phil Collins. Whether it's the studio, whether it's something with Genesis, it's always Phil Collins. And I don't know. I guess that's just our entire playlist.
It's the most palatable album of all time.
No Jagger required.
So jealous that you guys got to see Phil.
Twice.
Oh, all right. Brag.
We saw him twice.
It was in Fort Lauderdale and Tampa. You had capability.
And I was like, I'll just go next time.
He was ancient. We knew it was probably the only time we'd see him.
Listen, I believe maybe you come back.
Maybe. I mean, I was shocked we got to see him back then.
We heard him play a Tarzan song.
We did.
Son of Man.
I wish. I was hoping it was gonna be I wanna know.
Was it Two Worlds, One Family?
You'll be in my heart.
He'll be in my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Everybody.
Phil Collins, absolute son of a man.
Absolute son of a man. Well, on that disappointment, we will end my albums here with, you know what? We're going to go in a totally different... If you went there, I'm going to go with Annie Lennox, Diva.
Do you want to restart?
No,
I'm sorry.
we're keeping that in there.
All right.
Annie Lennox, Diva. Now, this album does have an all-time pop classic, which is Walking on Broken Glass. Yes, but we're going to go through a little bit of a Logan story time here. Through my casual viewing, I just happened upon watching a movie with Demi Moore called Striptease, and I noticed that most of the soundtrack is from this Annie Lennox album, Diva. And I heard this one song called Money Can't Buy It. And it really, I was like, man, like this song, like it was like an earworm. Like it came to me, I was like, I've heard this before. As you guys remember from the beginnings of this from this channel, the inception almost, we would go to venues very early. Sometimes Maiden would play amphitheaters, in which it's totally outdoors, and we'd get there so early we would hear them setting up the PAs. One of the PA test songs is from this album, and it is Money Can't Buy It. So just imagine us sweaty in some random town.
Parking lot.
In some parking lot listening to a clip of this Annie Lennox record. Tremendous. It is a great pop dance album. What's the song here? Little Bird. Little Bird, fantastic. I wanted to go somewhere a little bit different. There's so many great Red albums, but speaking to who I am, who is Logan, who is me, Diva by Annie Lennox, Put It On. I actually own it on, but I should have brought it just like it's a giant vinyl. Because I actually do own it on a record. But anyway, that's my fifth.
Well, you have more. If you want to name them, even if they're honorable mentions.
Give us your honorable mentions.
You wrote them down, so clearly you have something to say.
The special edition cover, because that's the cover that I owned, of Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses of Slipknot. It's red. I mean, it's Slipknot Volume 3. Less is more on that one.
I love that album.
Elephant by the White Stripes. Mm-hmm. I mean, it has Seven Nation Army on it. Come on now. Oh, yeah. Here's a great one. This is a real... Well, I think you're looking ahead, maybe, but... Damn the Torpedoes by Tom Petty.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
That is a classic from Gainesville, Florida, just up the road here. Refugee is a fantastic song.
Refugee.
Now, this is the peak of their powers. This is an album called... I want to make sure I get this right. Spirits Have Flown by the Bee Gees. Now, this features the iconic song Tragedy, and it became quite the tragedy for the Bee Gees, as right after this they would go on to make the music for Saturday Night Fever, which was not an album, but it was an album for the movie. So, but then after this, there was declared that disco is dead, and so the tragedy of the Beatles ends, and so we don't have disco anymore, and the Bee Gees, rather. Well, the Beatles are also gone, too. No Red albums from the Beatles, I'll have you know.
No.
You checked?
No. And then last, and certainly not least, the classic Toto 4 by Toto. Rosanna, Africa, but my personal favorite on that album, Good For You. If you get a chance, while you're scrubbing the toilets or doing whatever it is that you do mundane around your house, just put on the song Good For You by Toto, and you'll be totally taken to a place of pop greatness. And those were my honorable mentions.
You know, it was funny, the other day, they were playing Africa at our gym, and I told James, I'm like, when people go see Toto, like, do they know anything other than that? Whatever the other song, the other hit is.
Rosanna.
Yeah.
Rosanna.
Like, do they know? Like, have you seen Toto?
No. No.
I know they tour a lot, and a lot of the times it's with Journey.
I'm sure they're playing some Disney festival here soon.
But I imagine it has to be an entire set of songs that people have never heard, and then at the end, Africa.
I once saw Dragon Force once, and it was just normal Dragon Force set, and they said, all right, here's the song you wanted. And then they played Through the Fire and the Flames at the end. So it might be the same with Toto.
It's most bands. They save their well-known songs for the end. It's just like Slayer. Like I was saying, another video, Rain and Blood, like they always play Angel of Death and Rain and Blood. Normally at least one of those is last.
I do remember you mentioning that in that video from weeks ago.
Anybody have anything else to say about their Red albums or honorable mentions or anything? I know you had Master of Puppets, but I didn't see it today.
Master of Puppets was... Well, I just couldn't have two... Okay, I couldn't have two Metallica, and this Kill 'Em All is just more red than...
Much more
Master
red.
Puppets.
How much more red can it get?
I also really consider Peace Sells, but is that red? Is it orange?
We were talking about that before he came. He asked me, what do you consider? I'm like, it's in some images I see of it, it's very red. In some images, it's like more of an orangish pink.
Because I was asking, because I was also going to pick Phil Collins' forehead.
Collins's forehead.
Yeah, but yeah, Peace Sells.
I think other colors are going to be easy. I don't know why. I thought red would be easy, but then I was going through. I'm like, oh, there's so many good blues.
Yeah.
There is some blue superiority here.
What color should we do next?
Ooh, yes.
Vote in the comments, and we'll make it happen.
Black even.
I want a color more than
Why?
black or
Oh.
white. We will do black or white, maybe even gray.
How much more black can it get?
But I'd like a vibrant color next.
Okay, blue.
I'm gonna let them vote. You guys vote for what color you want in the comments.
All right.
Well,
That's all we've got for today, you guys. So thanks for watching to the end. Thank you to our Patreon members for their support, and we'll see you next time.
Shamu out.
That'll do, won't it?